Add to the stream. Hello, everybody. So this is the first time I have used StreamYard, which is going to allow me to broadcast to many platforms. So it's brand new to me. So you might have to bear with me on the technology front, and especially in terms of, let's have a little look, in terms of comments. I am hoping that I will still be able to see everybody's comments. But if I can't, I have here a phone. We're going to go old school, and I will have a look on some of the platforms to make sure that I'm getting your comments and your questions. So today on this platform, we are going to be talking about, I can see some of you. I can't see necessarily who it is. It's just showing me Facebook user. So good morning, everybody. I'm glad I can see comments. If I don't know who it is, welcome to you all. I just can't see for some reason. Although, who can I see? No, I can't see anybody. I can't see who it is, but I do know that you are here, which is amazing. Let me know if you can see me, hear me, all of that good stuff. But we are this morning streaming in my Facebook group, on YouTube, on Periscope, and on my Facebook page. So it's really lovely to see so many of you. I can see Fiona. Fiona, welcome. I don't know why you're just special this morning, Fiona, and I can see your name over everybody else's. So thank you so much for sitting in with me. And this morning, I wanted to talk to you about why self-care is super important, but we confuse what self-care is. And sometimes self-care requires us to be really strict on ourselves. And that's not the self-care that we see in magazines, and that looks all very wishy-washy and lovely. So if you are new to seeing me talk, because I'm streaming across multiple platforms this morning, what I like to do before we get started is to do a bit of a check-in with everybody and to see how you are. Jackie's on YouTube. Welcome, Jackie. Fiona's liking being special. I love this. I need to give permission to StreamYard if we have, I don't know what it says. Oh, somebody's telling me you need to give StreamYard permission if we have used it before. It will already, that's why it is. I see. So I can see you if you've used StreamYard before. That's the reason I can't see everybody. No worries. Okay, well, in future, I will encourage you all to give StreamYard permission to see who you are. So what was I talking about again? Yeah, if you have not been with me before, what I like to do at the beginning of every one of our chats is to check in with you and see where you are. So we do this on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being I'm rubbish today, I feel horrendous, and 10 being I feel absolutely incredible today, and everything in between. And I can see somebody is a 7 today, which seems pretty high. And what you will find is that over the days when you do your little check-in, and do this on your own as well, this isn't just something that you should do when you're with me, this should be something that you ask yourself how you are, and you do a check-in and you go, okay, so today I am a 9. I'm a really solid 9. I've had a good start to my day. I get to chat to you guys, and so I'm a 9. Now I'm quite high up a lot of the time, so I'm usually a good solid 8 or a 9. And if I drop below that, I can see that, ooh, what's going on for me? So Fiona is a 6, feeling good. And what you will find over time is that you will find out what your regular average number is. So for some people, a 5 is just what they class as their average number. There's no right or wrong to this. This is purely for you. So a 5 is like your regular, this is where I'm at. And if you go to a 6 or a 7, it's like, what a great day. And we can see King P on Periscope is a 7 or an 8 today. That sounds like a really good, solid, positive number. And the idea is if you check in and you're on the lower end of the scale and you feel a bit, just not the 1 today. Georgie, I can see on YouTube, is at a 2 today. So just on that lower end today. If you check in and that's where you're at, then you know that there's some work to do. I need to know where I'm at. I can see somebody on Facebook is you're a 5, average is a 2, but I have my medication change and hopefully my average is going, oh, it's Cassie, amazing, that's great, Cassie, that's such good news. So this is the good thing. So for some people, they've been at a 2 for a while. So Georgie might have been there for a bit, or she might stay there for a little bit. And you notice, so let's say they go up to a 3. And a 3 to some people, like me, I'm usually high up. A 3 is when I'm at my worst. So a 3 to me still feels quite low. But if you've been at a 2, 3's higher. So it means that you're heading in the right direction. And it's really noticing if when you check in, you're not low, but actually you're really high, don't second guess it. be in this moment and just be in it, bask in it, notice it, just be in it, because it's too easy for us to go ahead of ourselves to the next bad thing when actually the next good thing is right around the corner as well. And I can see someone's going to watch on replay, but there are 4 this one. I can't see who that is. I will check in my Facebook group afterwards, so I'll be able to see who that was. But definitely come back on the replay. This will be on all platforms on a replay as well. So and I'm just saying, I think it was Hannah is saying, I'm still a 7, found out my daughter's cutting her hair because she's bored. Oh no. Well, my daughter cut her hair, and I think that was, she cut in a little tuft at the front and regrets it now. But yeah, it's not amazing, but at least you know you can work from there. And Cassie's saying, oh yeah, a 5 feels on top of the world at the minute. And that's the thing. And don't second guess it any more than that. That's just it. If you feel good, then you feel good. And I can see we've got Lawrence on this morning on YouTube as well. Welcome everybody. It's so lovely to have people from different spaces today. I just thought we'd mix it up and see how that works. I know it's a little bit harder for me to see who everyone is and give you that personal approach that I would normally like to do. But let's just see how it goes today. So today's topic, for those that have just sat in or for those of you watching the replay, is talking about self-care and what that means. And yesterday I did a live stream with Clara Hermit, who is a personal development coach. She's also a YouTuber. She's a BBC London radio presenter, and she's a good friend of mine. And we talked on Instagram about what to do when you feel like giving up. And as we were talking, we talked a little bit about not so much when you feel like giving up. It was more about when you just don't feel, when you can't be bothered. Like, what do you do to motivate yourself? And that got us talking about how self-care, how often when we talk about self-care and you hear self-care in magazines, it's like face masks and like getting our hair done and baths and bubble baths and all of this stuff, which are lovely and absolutely part of self-care. But self-care is a lot harder than that in many ways. It's a tougher framework for our minds. And self-care is also telling yourself off now and then. Self-care is also creating boundaries. In fact, I wrote a list before I went on, and those of you that know how I talk, I will ramble on if I don't drag my brain back into what we're talking about, and I'll just be having a chat with you. So I did write a list. So self-care, let me give you a list of some things that self-care is, but we don't get told it is. So self-care is boundaries, as I've said. Self-care is cutting those people off, cutting those people out of your life that no longer serve. Self-care is telling yourself no. Telling yourself absolutely not today. This is me, right? Sometimes I have to tell myself off and I will say, no, absolutely not. And I will say it to myself because of whatever I'm doing in that moment that isn't serving me anymore. Self-care is quitting that thing that isn't serving you, whatever that is. We hear the obvious stuff like smoking and alcohol and all that stuff, but it could be other things that you quit procrastinating. It could be that, right? It could be quitting, I don't know, you guys can tell me what you need to quit. It could be, so self-care is prioritizing things that are important. That's a really, really, really big part of self-care, prioritizing the things that are important to you in this moment. It's committing to stuff. You guys all, possibly at the beginning of this year, thought, right, I want to do this year, and I want to start this thing, and I'd like to do this. I mean, I know this year has been certainly very, very different to, certainly the past few years have been very different. And so maybe you didn't set those targets for yourself, but there's probably stuff you want to do. And so it's prioritizing that and making sure that you make space for that. I'm just looking at some of the comments. I can see some of them. Hey, Terence. Hey, Fiona says, self-care for me is having time out in peace and quiet with a cup of tea. And that's a priority. That should be a priority for you because you can see that you need that space in your world. And I totally get that. Just looking at the comments there. Georgie says, for me, 2021 is the year where I take self-care seriously, been really lacking lately, and that's really very, very important. It's so important for you to take it seriously. I can see on Facebook, put a comment, self-care, taking myself off for a walk, listening to the You Got This playlist very loudly. So if you haven't checked out my playlist on Spotify, I've got a You Got This Academy playlist, which was for those that were in my coaching program. There's also, if you type in Holly Matthews into Spotify, you'll get my confidence playlist, and it's to get you motivated in the morning. Love that. Morning, my signal is useless. Someone say, no worries, catch up on replay. So self-care is digging deep and it's taking action. So when we think about self-care, and it's all very lovely, and sometimes we, you know, on the flip side of it, we must remind ourselves that self-care, it's important that we have days when we just chill. It's important that we have days when we let ourselves cry, that we let ourselves just wallow in it for a moment, and we acknowledge how we're feeling. And sometimes that's not pretty, and it's not, you know, it doesn't feel great. And so sometimes self-care is all of that. However, sometimes self-care is not wallowing in it, and it's getting up and getting motivated. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you go from being at the, you know, a 1 on how you're feeling to a 10. But let's say you're on the lower end of the scale, you're a 2 or a 3 today, and you're not feeling amazing. What do you need today? And what can you do? Welcome, Anupa. Welcome. Who else have we got? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Saruba. So I'm just trying to pronounce this right. Give me a second. Saruba. No, I'm not going to get this right, and it's going to annoy me. I'm going to work out how to pronounce your name. Dayama. Hi from YouTube. Welcome. And Posty on YouTube is saying, love the confidence playlist. Oh, I'm so glad that you do. And Anupa's a 10 today. Anupa's top of the scale, top of the tree today. Fantastic. And you're never late. You're just here, and it's all good. And people can drop in as they see fit. So questioning yourself this morning, what is it this morning that you need? What do you need to feel good? And be really in tune with yourself in that. Don't just take the easy option, because the easy option would be, well, today I need biscuits and I need to sit on the settee and I need to watch Netflix. And that might be the case. And then maybe you've been working really hard and you've been doing lots of stuff and you do need a break, in which case, do that. However, for some of you, perhaps you've got stuck in a rut of that being okay, like let's just sit back down and all of that. You're laughing at me now, almost there. I'll get there with it. Hang on, I'm going to try one more time. It's going to be embarrassing. Hang on. Saraba. I'm not pronouncing it right. I'm going to go and Google it after this and find out. In fact, I'm going to take a picture so I don't forget, because it's so annoying when people can't pronounce your name and it's rude. So I'm going to take a quick screenshot, remind me that I said this, and I will practice saying it afterwards. But yeah, so sometimes it's about pressing go, and sometimes it's about stepping back, and only you know the answer to that. And it's about really checking in whether you're kidding yourself and you're just giving yourself a pat on the back for doing the bare minimum, or whether you need to do the bare minimum. And there's always that pause and propel. And when I'm working with clients, I will often talk to them about my pause and propel system, and that you have to have the pause. It's not all about propel, hustle, but equally, sometimes you need to put your foot on the gas. Sometimes you need to get up and do something. And for you today, if you're on that lower end of the scale, it might be a case that you go, do you know what, for me, what I can do today to put my foot on the gas and take some action is I'm just going to get dressed. I'm going to wash my hair. I'm going to put some makeup on if you see fit. I'm going to wear something a bit nicer. I'm going to step out of the joggers. I've got jeans on today for that very reason, because I felt like every day was just loungewear, which I love. I'm a fan of the loungewear. But sometimes, you know, you've got to get up and you've got to step up and you've got to get dressed, because you know that will motivate me. I'm doing a lot of writing today, so today is a writing day. And I know that if I was in my loungewear, do you know what would happen? I'd sit on the sofa, I'd get myself a little drink, I'd probably get a few biscuits. Those of you that followed me for a while know I have an issue with eating too many biscuits, like the biscuits. Really could do without the biscuits. So I'm going to put that on my self-care list today, because I could do without all that sugar. But what would happen if I was slouching around in my loungewear is I wouldn't get as much done, because it would be too easy to lounge into a whole Netflix series of something, or lounge into not quite getting stuff done. And I don't want to do that. I think it's Hannah saying, I've got a dress on today, work day. Perfect. And I love that. It's a change of mentality. So what do you need today? Tell me in the comment section. I will say it, even if I don't know who's saying it. What do you need today? What will you leave in last week? So there'll be some habits that you've created, some things that you've been doing. And what is it you just like to leave in last week? Like that's kind of my old mentality, and it's not going to serve me into this week, because you all know the things that you want. Largely, you know, you've got an idea, even if it's just, I want to feel better than I do now. I want to feel happy. Some of you have some aspirations and goals that you want to do, and some steps that you need to take to get those things. So what do you need to do today? I just whacked myself in the face there. What do you need to do today that's going to facilitate that? What is it that is going to get you closer? What is the thing that you need to do? And not, if someone's just saying not a snacking in the, no snacking in the evenings. That can be a habit. Or go into the fridge and just getting a little piece of cheese or a little piece of ham or a little something. We're all there. And lockdown life has absolutely made that 10 times harder. So we have to create new good habits. What can we replace? If you're a person that goes to the fridge to get a little something all the time, is it that you can replace something healthy in there so you can still do the action? You can still feel the trigger, do the action, but it's not, a bit of cheese or a bit of chocolate or something that's going in your mouth. It's something else, a cucumber, peppers, whatever. I don't know. But it's trying to replace that. And the last question I'm going to get you to think about today is, why aren't you doing that thing? Georgie's just saying goodbye, Georgie. I will catch you on something very soon, and look after yourself today. Why aren't you doing that thing? So Jackie is saying procrastinating, that's your thing. So what is it what do you feel? Because we usually do know when we check in with ourselves, why are you procrastinating? What is it that's stopping you? So for example, as a person who's a writer, it's very easy to not write, okay? And it's very easy to get stuck in perfectionism, or to go, oh, I'll write when, and then insert the perfect conditions. Maybe this is you. I will exercise when the stars align and everything is perfect, right? And then we slip into procrastination. And when I procrastinate, I will start to do ridiculous jobs. Like yesterday, I cleaned downstairs. I'm a messy person naturally, right? So I knew I needed to declutter to have a good week this week. So that was my self-care. But there was an element of procrastination, like Jackie's saying there, in that I was suddenly cleaning out the toaster and like doing stuff that was it required, or was I just procrastinating? And if I sat with myself for a little bit, I would think, right, okay, so why aren't you doing the writing today? And it might be that I go, ooh, because I think that I need to, and it might not be good enough. Maybe it's that when I sit with myself, I might think, well, what if it's not good enough? What about if I don't, I just leave it to the last minute? I don't know what the reason is, but when I sit with myself, usually we can come up with something. I can see somebody is just saying there, procrastination is a great place to hide. It's true, isn't it? We can come up with all of the reasons why we don't have to be doing the thing. As an actress, so my background, for those that don't know, that are watching from new places, I was an actress for many years, a TV actress. And so I would often get auditions come in very last minute, and I would have to go and, learn a full script or read a script, and I'd have to know it. And I would do anything to not do that script. It was like some kind of danger mouse thing. I'd leave it to the last minute because I was kind of scared that I wouldn't, if I didn't do the script, if I left it till the last minute and then I didn't get the part, subconsciously, not consciously, subconsciously, I could go, well, I didn't really have much time to do the script. And so I would find other things. So what is your avoiding the script? What are you doing today? And I can see someone saying, I actually did the same. I cleaned my floors. I hadn't done for ages and it felt good. Well, actually, as I say, that was a good thing for me. I can't say who said that. I know it's in Facebook, but it was a good thing for me because I've woken up this morning, I'm like, everything is fresh and clean. The floors are clean. Everything's tidy. And my headspace feels really good today for writing and for chatting to you guys. So it's a good thing. But on other days, it might just be procrastinating. And I can see here, perfectionism and procrastination go together well for me. They do. They massively go together because we wanted everything to be perfect, so we just can't do the thing. But procrastination and trying to be perfect, that's not self-care. Self-care is also allowing yourself to make mistakes, allowing yourself to be imperfect. That's self-care. That's caring for you, because all self-care is taking care of you and making sure you are tuning into what you actually need, and not the easy option, because it's not always the easy option. For example, Clara Hermit and I yesterday, when we were talking about this, we talked about, exercise. So if you haven't exercised and you want to feel good and you want to feel fit, and maybe you want a more toned body or whatever, and all of this good stuff, you will start exercising today, but you're not going to get the outcome that you want over the next week or possibly even the next month. It's going to take a lot more work for you to start to reap the rewards of the work that you're doing. Now, that's where it becomes tricky, doesn't it? That's where we can give up. That's where we can think, well, it's just, I'm just not that person. And that's why we have to start to align that with who we want to be as people. So asking yourself, who is it that I want to show up as in 2021? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to be, and what do I want for my bigger picture? Do you have some goals that you want, some purpose, some bigger picture that you want to achieve? And it doesn't have to be massive. It could be that you want a safe and happy home, and that could be the biggest, most important thing for you, and it is big and important. And you can go, okay, so if you want a happy home, how can I be my happiest self? How can those that I live with be that, how can I help them to live their best lives? How can I show up as my best self? How can, whatever else it is, how can I feel safe in my home? What do I need to do to feel safe and warm and happy? And it could be just cleaning the house and, making it feel safe and warm and lovely. But it's tuning into what it is that you need and really being honest with yourself about that. Somebody's just saying on Facebook, I find it so difficult to figure out what I need. So I would really suggest, because I know this will be the case for everybody at some point, because we get busy minds. So I would really, really suggest trying to do some form of meditation. Now, for those of you that have never meditated, don't think it needs to be a big deal. I really just mean it could be your form of meditation might be just sitting with some calming music on and a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and just being alone with your thoughts for a moment, which can be quite challenging at times because sometimes our thoughts aren't nice or kind. And asking yourself that question, what do I need? What do I need right now? And really being honest about that. Because when you tune in, you do know the answer. It might be that you tune in, you go, I really need human company. I'm lonely right now. That could be an honest thing right now. A lot of us are living in lockdowns and isolations and things like that. And it could be that you're missing people. And I'm not saying there's a quick fix to all of this stuff, but sometimes there is a way that once you acknowledge it and you go, ooh, what I need is to move my body more. I need to go outside. I haven't been doing that. When we do that, we can do something. So if it's that you tune in, you go, I feel really lonely, then perhaps you jump into my Facebook group, or you come and chat on here and you make friends and you connect with people. You write somebody a letter, you go and do a distance chat with somebody outside their house, but you tune in, you really recognize what it is that you need. It isn't always straightforward, but I don't think you need to think about it as such a big deal. When we, in my space, in self-development worlds, you hear people talking about meaning and finding themselves and purpose. And I don't think everybody's purpose or meaning or their why is always that clear, because not everybody has these dizzy heights of ambition where they want to be the director of a company, or they want to save children in Africa and whatever, it's not always so straightforward. It's not always so grand. Sometimes it's just, do you know what my purpose is? My purpose is to have some great stories to tell when I'm old and grey, and I just want to have a nice life and I want to create experiences. And that's an amazing purpose. Just looking at some of the comments as well. I can see family videos on YouTube are saying meditation is great. Meditation is such an amazing thing. And like I say, there's lots of forms of meditation. There is the traditional sitting, calm breathing. And I love meditation. And I really, when I don't do meditation, I feel it. I feel it massively, because I find that the world becomes really busy. So I started doing, at the beginning of the year, I started doing yoga. And I found that is my calm time to meditate, to tune in with myself, to check in where I am. And every time I do my meditation in the morning, I put a candle on. It's my little candle. You probably see it over there somewhere over there. I put my candle on when I do my meditation, and when I'm doing my yoga. I do my yoga, and I just follow Adrienne Yoga on YouTube if anybody wants to do that. And my friend Jess McKay also does yoga sessions as well with The Healthy Place, which I do. You can find Jess on Instagram and Facebook. So I either do Jess or I do Adrienne, and I'll do the yoga. And then once I finish, I think about what my intention is for the day. So that means what I would like, what's my focus today? And it might be that I go, my intention today is to be really present with my kids. So I'm doing homeschooling right now, well, not right now, but we're homeschooling and here in the UK. And so sometimes I'll need to be really present with them, because I'll have recognized that I haven't been. As parents, you don't always get it perfect. There's a balance, especially when you're working, and sometimes you're gonna have to focus on work and sometimes the kids, and there's no judgment on any of it because we're just doing our best. So maybe when I set my intention, I think, right, today my intention is that I want to focus on writing. That's been my focus today. I want to get 2 chapters of my book written. That's happening today. But I also want to make sure I'm eating well, drinking water, and getting back to basics. That's really important as well, not missing those out, and staying off the biscuits as well, too much sugar. So when I do my yoga, I do my yoga session, and then at the end of the yoga, I would tend to just lie down and do more of a meditative kind of cool down. Then I blow out my candle. I say my intention to myself, this is what today is about. Blow out my candle and I get on with my day. But that blowing out of the candle for me is an anchor to it being that's what's happening now in this day. So I really love that. Just reading the next comments. Facebook, someone on Facebook says, I did an online karate basic with my little boy yesterday and it included meditation at the end. It was really great. And that sounds amazing. I'd love to hear about that because my daughter Brooke, my oldest daughter, is she has been asking about karate. So I'd love to know more about that. Let me know where that is. I can't see who's just said that because it's not coming up, but it's in my Facebook. So let me know, please. I'd love that. And I can see Lawrence is saying, I listened to audiobooks for meditation. Perfect. Meditation is whatever helps you to zone out into that moment. So it could be that you like drawing, it could be that you play golf, it could be that you do word searches, but it allows your brain some switch off for a moment, just to breathe for a moment. We can see as well our lovely friend on YouTube whose name I can't pronounce, Sarah, not going to get it, am I, till I Google it, said, I did yesterday meditation by Ajahn Brahm from Buddhist Society in Perth. Let's get your comment up. They post meditations. Oh, amazing. Okay, that's cool. So Buddhist Society at Perth. Amazing. Well, let's check that out then. That would be lovely. I'll share that if I can find a link to that. That's fantastic. I'm going to do actually on Airbnb. They're doing online experiences at the moment, and pretty much I don't know if it's every day actually. Maybe it's not 3 times a week. I think it is. They have a Buddhist a Buddhist monk doing meditation on there, and I think it's a couple of quid. It's not very expensive. It's a couple of pounds, and you can go and do a meditation with a Buddhist monk. So I haven't had the chance to do it yet. I've been saying it for ages, but I'm going to do that as well, just for an experience of doing it with somebody else. I actually used to do Buddhist meditation classes here in Coventry, where I live in the Midlands, and I used to do those regularly. And although I'm not a Buddhist, I don't profess to be a part of any gang, club, religion, anything else. I did like a lot of the Buddhist philosophies and mindsets, because and there was always, at the meditation class I would do, there was always different people, and often people who actually were part of another religion, but they just came to that class because it was very open to anybody, and we would talk about a topic. So let's say the topic was how to deal with anger, and we would then do a meditation on that, and then we would talk about what came up for us and how we would deal with anger. So meditation is a really powerful thing. If you don't meditate, give it a go. And if you find it, just for it to know as well, when you first start meditating, you might cry, you might find that other hard stuff comes up for you. So just be aware, crying when you first start meditating is actually quite common that happens, because you're sitting with your thoughts, and sometimes your thoughts aren't very kind, or they're hard to listen to. So just be be aware of that. Thank you. I can just see Blind Life on YouTube saying your channel is so inspiring. Thank you so much. That's lovely. And I am going to be doing more of these lives now, and I will include YouTube on here, which is really cool to be able to do now. So because I feel like I've not done as much on YouTube, and I would like to, because you guys deserve to be in my gang as well. So yeah, meditation is good. And if you find meditation a little bit too right now, where you think, oh, it feels too big, just today, take 10 full breaths. Just take 10 full breaths, and at the end of it, ask yourself, what do I need today? And what is my intention for the day ahead? And think about possibly your week as well. What is my intention for this week? What would I love at the end of this week to have completed? What would feel amazing if I'd done that? And give yourself a kick up the backside if you need it. If you've been absolutely working like a crazy person and you've done loads of stuff and you've achieved loads, and this week needs to be about wind down, then cool. But I would say for the majority of us, it's not about that. And actually, it's about motivating ourselves to do the things that we need to be doing, the things that we want to be doing. So if you've got a long-term plan of writing a book, then you need to write, you need to do something. If you've got a long-term plan of wanting to be a karate expert, so we had karate mentioned today, then take the first step. Go and have a look of where there's some classes, probably online right now, and what can you do? What do you need to do to be your best self, to step towards the things that you need? What needs to be cut from your life right now? What is draining you? What is taking up too much time? Making sure that you are prioritizing the things that are important to you, and that is different for every single one of us. And Blind Life on YouTube is asking what I'm streaming on. I'm streaming on StreamYard today, which seems to be pretty good. So guys, I have loved being able to chat with you this morning. I hope you've had some value from this, and I will endeavor to do this more regularly so that we can, because we can do it in this platform in this way. If you are on Facebook, if you go, I don't know how to do this, so I'm just blindly saying this, but I can't see who you are unless you allow StreamYard to let you see. Now, I don't know what you have to do that, but you might have to click a something, and then that will mean that I can see who you are. And just, so I'm not just saying, hey, Facebook user, because the reality is if you're on my Facebook, in my Facebook group, which is the Happy Me Project, for those of you that are coming from other platforms, you are more than welcome to join us. Then you know me, so I am not being rude, I just can't see who everybody is. But of course, when you become part of my gang and my community, I do know about you, and I get to know you guys because I really do care about the stuff that I'm doing, and I care that you get to live a life that feels amazing for you. I really do. And at the beginning of this month, we're on the 1st today, the beginning of the month, really think about how you can show up for yourself this month. How can you really be there? How can you be really strict on yourself? And if you need to, tell yourself off now and then and say, enough already. Get on with it, whatever it is. Stop cleaning out the toaster when you should be doing your university work. I don't know who needs to hear that today, but somebody does. Some of you need to just really give yourself a telling off today and motivate yourself. But I hope this has given you a bit of a rocket, a bit of motivation to go and do that. I would love to hear what it is that you are doing today and what your intentions are for the week. If you are on platforms such as YouTube and Twitter, make sure that you are subscribing and following on Facebook as well. If you're coming from my Facebook page, then make sure that you give it a thumbs up and a like. And if you want to see any of the work that I do, it will be posted below this. There is lots of evergreen courses for you to just take part in. There is also going to be just a little admin check for you this month. On the 22nd of this month, I'm collaborating with Leona Burton and Mums in Business International, and we are doing 10 days to get seen. So if you've got something that you want to get seen, whether it's work, blog, vlog, business, then come and hang out with us from the 22nd for 10 days, because we are bringing in the value and we're going to teach you exactly how to get your work seen. And then in the end of March, I'm going to be doing my 6-week coaching program. The You Got This Academy will be opening its doors to brand new students, and you are invited. I'm just looking at the comments there. I've just missed one. Somebody's just said, I go to YouTube and put Louise Hay on, helps me so much, and love your lives, they calm me. I'm so glad. And Cassie has just said, oh, it's at the bottom of your description to the live video. Click the link and it asks give permission. There we go. So for those of you on Facebook, if you go to the bottom of my live, there will be a link somewhere. There is a thing. Click the link and it asks to give you permission. Thank you for that, Cassie. That's so good. Just means that going forward, I'll be able to see who you are, because I probably know you. So thank you so much, guys. I will see you all next Monday, if not before, and have an amazing day, an amazing week, and just show up for yourselves. You're awesome. Peace.